Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the Hunter. Welcome back to the Baseball Head, and hopefully you like this video. And hit that subscribe button. Before we get into these rumors about the Mets and the Red Sox, I have a very special message at the end of this video. I'm very concerned about my channel and my presence on YouTube, and it's very important that you watch, and hopefully you do. But let's get into the rumors. Now, obviously the Mets last night, they won 4-0 against the scum-sucking Braves. They righted the ship here. It was a very shaky road the last 2 weeks, but the Mets are back in first. Everybody panicked. Not your host, of course, but everybody else panicked. I would mention some people online, like Frank Fleming. The guy is nuts. The guy is nuts. You know, he said the season was over. They're back in first. 2 days later, he's had this meltdown, chewing on his glasses. But the Mets are back in first place. They're playing Pittsburgh tonight. They're making all kinds of moves today. Mark Vientos will probably be back tonight. They sent down Jarren Duran, which he wasn't really. It was really useless, to be honest with you. They're probably going to send Griffin Canning on the IL. He looks like he ruptured his Achilles tendon last night. Looked very similar to the Halliburton injury in the NBA Finals. And there are rumors going around. I've heard Luis Severino, his name has popped up. We'll see. We liked him last year. It's a weird kind of trying to figure out what kind of year he's having. He's giving up a lot of runs there in Sacramento. But that is a very warm ballpark, and the ball tends to travel there, as we saw when our Mets were there about a month and a half ago. But here's some of the rumors that I found. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. Let's start off with the outfield help. The Mets could use more outfield help. Also use a third baseman, specifically if Vientos and Beatty don't put up the numbers they need to do. We got Jarren Duran of the Red Sox, who's been playing primarily left field this year. Heavy Sports speculates that they put this deal up. I don't like this deal. The Mets would send in a deal Francisco Alvarez, Jonah Tong, and right-handed prospect Nate Doan. Well, just give them everybody. You know, just give them every prospect the Mets could possibly give up. Now, Duran is not having a great year. His OPS is 98, which means he's 2% below the average major leaguer as an offensive player. Last year, he had an excellent year. He was 8th in the MVP voting, had a lot of triples, scored a lot of runs. He does not get on base a lot. His year last year was very good, but his OPS for his career is about 112, which means he's 12% better than the average major leaguer. Not inspiring. Not inspiring. I like to see a guy with a little more thump than he has. He does have a lot of speed. He's very athletic, but I like to see a guy that has a little more offensive punch to him. Now, we know that Rafael Devers got traded from the Red Sox to the Giants, which was a surprise move on the part of the Giants, and this really helps the Giants. It's really going to help them get the postseason. I would mention it is extremely important for the Mets to win the division this year, because there are a lot of teams that are going to be in the mix for those last 3 wildcard spots. The National League West is always good, and they have the Giants there. The Diamondbacks are 2 games above 500. Obviously, the Dodgers are good, and the Giants are going to be very difficult. Also, the National League Central. Aside from the Pirates, every team in that division is above 500. And don't sleep on the Reds. They have the best manager in the division, and he will find a way to get them to postseason. And they have one of the most talented players in that division in Ellie De La Cruz, and I've been on him since the beginning of the season, talking about how he's going to have a big year, and he's had a very good year so far. But so it's very imperative the Mets get to win the division this year, as opposed to the wild card. There's way too many teams that are good this year for them to be competing for a wild card spot. Okay, here's a couple of names, other names. Walker Buehler. Now, I mentioned Devers before I forget. The Mets were talking to the Red Sox. Prior to him being traded to the Giants. And what happened was the Mets had asked the Red Sox to take some of the money off the contract, and the Red Sox said no. And that basically killed the deal. But that's why I mentioned Devers. So the Mets are very serious about getting offensive punch in this lineup. Walker Buehler. his name has popped up as a player that could be moved. He doesn't have a crazy contract, but he has not pitched well. And then it's a possibility he could get moved, and the Mets, he is what would be considered a player the Mets would want in postseason. He has pitched 19 innings, folks. I believe I've seen this. In 19 innings in the World Series, I think he's given up 4 runs. So he's extremely dominant in the World Series, or something crazy like that. Something crazy like that. So he's a guy that you want him down for later down the road. Right now, he doesn't really appeal to me, to be honest with you. Aroldis Chapman, who might be the most appealing player on in this group, is because the Mets need they need a left-hander in that bullpen badly. We know Brooks Raley's coming back, but they need somebody at the end of the game, just in case we get the postseason and we need somebody that's going to close the game out and Diaz is gassed. So that's a name that has popped up, and that is not the worst idea in the world. And the Mets are looking for as much help as they could possibly get when it comes to trades, and specifically in the bullpen. We know they're going to be looking for bullpen help. We know that. This bullpen is gas. So that's a player to keep an eye on. A couple of players the Mets could move. Starling Marte could be moved. It seems that the Red Sox could be interested in him, so any kind of deal with the Red Sox might include him, and the Mets could move on from him. The Mets could improve at the DH spot. I mean, the DH spot has been sort of a black hole. We do know that Jesse Winker will be going on the rehab assignment very soon, and he should be coming back shortly after that. He's just a DH at this point, for the most part. Hopefully, there'll be more production, get more production out of him than what the Mets have already gotten out of him before he got hurt. A couple of prospect names that have come up. Brandon Sprout and Drew Gilbert. Those guys are having not good years in AAA, but they could be moved because they've had big reputations in the minor leagues. Guys that could be moved, and guys that the Red Sox could be interested in. And of course, if I mentioned this whole thing with Devers, if they talked about players, they probably have a pretty good idea. The Mets probably have a pretty good idea what the Red Sox are looking at in particular. Now, the Mets are looking to improve the outfield and the bullpen. Those are the 2 biggest areas of need. They could use another starter, like I said. We know the Mets are going to be very active. The word and the rumor is the Mets are going to be extremely active in trying to put a World Series team together. That they're going to be very aggressive. They have a lot of money they can spend. They have a lot of assets in the minor leagues. They can move anybody in their minor leagues. And the prospects the Mets have are not elite prospects. As well as they've played and pitched and performed down there, those guys are not elite. Now, I would mention, and this will be part of the back end of this video, is Elian Pena, who's a Mets minor leaguer, who they signed in January. He's the number 3 best international player signed this year. He had a monster game yesterday. Hit 3 home runs, went 4 for 5, and had 7 RBIs. He had a big day, and that is wonderful to see. He might be the closest thing to an elite player, but he's not going anywhere, and he needs time to develop. You let me know what you think about this video. I have another part to this video, which is extremely important, and you need to watch it, about me being on Substack, but more importantly, what's going on YouTube. I'm very concerned about certain things on here. But thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you later. Well, this is the part that's kind of serious for me, is because this is losing my ability to get more subscribers on here and get more views on my all my channels. And obviously, this is more my problem than it is your problem. But I wanted to make you aware of it, especially if you're a person that watches all my videos and wonders why you don't see as much content on notifications and why they don't recommend some of my videos. And I'm a very independent person. I'm very open, very much think about myself. I don't think about, I don't have guests on any of my shows. I just do my own thing. I am my own expert when it comes to talking about the Mets. I hate to be like that, but I hate to talk like that, but I am. I am my own expert when it comes to talking about everything about the Mets and everything that we talk about in Major League Baseball. Now, I may not know something, and I'll try to learn about it if I can, but I do the best I can with what I have, but I have a problem, and I saw this back in February. Some of the views on all my channels had basically collapsed, specifically the Baseball Hut 2. I have 3 channels that talk about baseball, and main subject being the New York Mets. And I noticed with all those channels that I have, those 3, in February, the views really dropped. I know that every year we go through a cycle. The heavy cycle is the winter time from November to December, January, and then it picks up around middle of June through the trade deadline. But I saw some unusual movement in terms of losing subscribers. I was losing a lot of subscribers on the Baseball Hut in March, February and March, for like no reason. Tons of subscribers that I was losing. Well, I also have an entertainment channel called the Comic Book Hut, but on there, I don't do much work there. But on that account, I follow a lot of like comic book channels, a lot of entertainment channels. And one of the channels I follow is John De La Rose, who I know from online. He's a good online friend, and he had been posting a couple of videos, and he has a website or an account on Substack called Phantom Pulse, and he's been covering the YouTube manipulation of what goes on YouTube. Now, I bring this up because it's very important, because people have been saying to me, well, I'm not getting your videos, and obviously the views are way, way down. I mean, for the Baseball Hut, I have 6,000 subscribers on this channel, on the big channel. And on the last video I posted about, the Mets beating the Braves a few days ago, I had under 800 views. That's pathetic. It shouldn't be that way. It should be much, much stronger than that. And I felt for a while that I've been targeted. Let me read you from Phantom Pulse, and he's been covering this for the past week. A Clownfish TV confirms YouTube's algorithm manipulation is destroying independent creators across the platform, not just entertainment channels. Now, Clownfish TV is a big channel. They got over 600,000 subscribers. And this is like a team of a guy and a lady. And they team up and they do all kinds of stuff talking about, comic book movies, adventure movies, all the stuff that's going on in culture in terms of entertainment. The YouTubers at Clownfish TV have added their voices to the growing chorus of creators exposing YouTube's systematic suppression of independent content, confirming that the platform's algorithm manipulation extends far beyond individual channels to represent a coordinated attack on creators who don't conform to corporate media standards. Now, I would mention the Patriot Hut. The Patriot Hut, I was doing a lot of good work there, but nobody was watching. And I know, just based off of this, I know that channel has been deemed something they don't want to have. But it's more than that. It's just more than political stuff. It's corporate. Host Keenan and Geeky Sparkles, that's their names, detailed how their own channel has been experiencing the same algorithmic throttling that the Quartering, who has a channel. If you don't know the Quartering, he's a guy that basically started out doing just card games, and he has almost 2 million subscribers. I've been following him for a long time, and he's very much in tune to the algorithm, and he'll follow it wherever it goes. And he's a great creator on here. He's one of the big creators on here. The Quartering exposed earlier this week, proving that it isn't an isolated incident, but a deliberate campaign to marginalize independent voices. Quote, "We're going to try to make sure that you guys get notified of our content," Keenan explained, acknowledging the platform's failure to deliver content to subscribers. It's not just us. A lot of content creators are noticing that people are not getting notified. They're not seeing their content anymore. And I'll talk about what I think is actually going on. But it doesn't even matter if you follow them. It doesn't matter. The host revealed that YouTube has fundamentally broken its core promise to users, that subscribing to channels would ensure access to their content. Quote, "Doesn't matter if you ring the bell for notifications, if subscribers, whatever, or I've got people that are like, I've been subscribed to you for years. In the last couple of months, we're not seeing your content anymore." And when I check my, all the information that I have on my app, a lot of people don't watch. A lot of people that are subscribers don't watch. And the recommended views are higher than people that actually watch. It's very strange. The manipulation has become so severe that YouTube is promoting old and irrelevant content over fresh uploads from subscribed channels. Quote, I'm getting recommended like really old shit, right? Like old reviews, years old, news old. This is all screwed up. Sorry. I think I got video recommendation from somebody that's dead. Like, what the hell's going on here? That's very true. Clownfish TV's analysis connects the suppression to YouTube's broader strategy of favoring mainstream media over independent creators. You have a bunch of people in Hollywood and the mainstream that are mad, and we've talked about it for years. They're mad about people are going to YouTube and they want to infiltrate the space. The host identified the core problem. YouTube was attempting to transform from a creator-driven platform into another streaming service dominated by corporate content. YouTube right now is trying to position itself as a streaming service to compete with Netflix and Disney and Hulu, but it's not. It's YouTube. Geeky Sparkles pointed out, this transformation betrays the very creators who built YouTube's success. People didn't want that stuff. They came to YouTube because they wanted to hear independent voices. If they wanted that stuff, they'd watch it where it was. Wouldn't they? But they didn't because they don't want it, Kenyon said. The solution, according to Clownfish TV, requires active effort from viewers to circumvent YouTube manipulation. You cannot depend on YouTube at this point, too. And it's not just for us, but for any of the creators that you follow. Now, this is why I've been going on different platforms trying to expand myself, because this channel has been targeted. There's no doubt in my mind. And I've been targeted by YouTube. They don't want me on here. I know that WFAN has done more content on here as a way of circumventing my criticism of them about how they treat the New York Mets, how they talk about the New York Mets. And they've been doing all this content, all this extra content, in particular the live stream that Evan Roberts does. Evan Roberts, they're trying to balance out that not everybody on the radio station are assholes when it comes to our team, America's team, the New York Mets. I know that's why they've been doing a lot of content on here as a way to sort of try to like counterbalance my criticisms of them for the last 2-3 years. Okay? And they're using their corporate bullshit to basically undermine what I'm trying to do here. And that's trying to make a buck and trying to pay the mortgage and pay the bills. And here's the thing. This is not my career. For guys like people like Clownfish and the Quartering, that's their career. So they don't care if the little guy gets hurt here. WFAN doesn't care. They were getting tired of me criticizing them. And of course, they're owned by George Soros, by the way, WFAN. So, I would mention this, and I'm going to show you this. This was a video that I did just a little while ago about Mets prospect Elian Pena. I mentioned him earlier in this video, how he had 3 home runs in a game on Thursday. I posted a short on the Baseball Hut. At 10:30 this morning, I had 4,600 views. Now, it went up to over 5,000 views, but at around 12 o'clock, it was around 4,900 views. As I record this video, for some odd reason, the video collapsed to about 3,700 views. What happened there? I noticed it. Now, I noticed how quickly the video went crazy when I had over 4,000 views in the first hour. And then after a while, YouTube cut off all these views off the video. Now, that's revenue. That's money out of my pocket. Why are they doing that? And I know the views on my videos, they're not that great on a short. Unless I post a highlight. So I don't understand what's going on here with this sort of change that they did today with this. I don't understand this. So again, it tells me that they're manipulating views, they're manipulating the how you get the content. Now, like I said, I've been on Substack. What's good about Substack is, from what I understand, it's very much about freedom of speech. They don't manipulate things. But one thing I do like about it is that whenever I post something on the platform, you get an email, okay? Every time I post something, you get an email letting you know when I'm posting something, which on YouTube, that doesn't happen. On YouTube, you get notified off the app. You don't get an email telling you that you got a post from the creator. So that's why I need you to go on and subscribe. It's very easy to get on Substack, okay? I would mention it's much easier. I don't know how it is on anybody else's computer. It sucks on the computer. But if you want to watch and go in there and subscribe, I would suggest you subscribe off your phone. It's much easier to read it off your phone. And I will post everything now on there. Every baseball video that I have, every comic book video I have will be posted on there, and just to share with you, to show you what I'm doing. And I would mention, I did a couple of videos during the week on the Baseball Hut too. Nobody watched them because it has nothing to do with the audience. It has to do with the fact that YouTube is not recommending it. And YouTube's not letting subscribers know that a video went up. So, if you subscribe to Substack, you will get an email letting you know when a video goes up on YouTube, or if I post something, or I've written something, or I've put some kind of fact about the club, about the New York Mets on there, you'll know. So that's the value of it. You'll get notified through email. You won't be getting notified because YouTube decided to notify you or not to notify you. I've said for a long time that this channel should be much, much bigger. Baseball Hut should be much, much bigger. And I know for a long time that they've been suppressing it for a very long time, because I'm very independent. And like I said, I have no guest on here. I don't like collaborate with anybody. I don't want to be bothered. I don't have time for nonsense. I have no time for talking to strangers. I really don't. I'd rather, if I have people on here, be friends and family, and that's about it, if I have anybody. I haven't had a guest on the Baseball Hut in a long time. And like I said, I'm my own expert here when it comes to the New York Mets, so I don't really need anybody in that regard. But I do need you. I need you to watch this very important part of the video, because if I don't get people to... I mean, YouTube's trying to run me off the platform. They don't want me here because I go against the MLB corporate message of everything's fine, everything's good. But there are some things in baseball that aren't good, and things that they're snowballing us on, you know. And I have to talk about it, and nobody else talks about it. You look at the other channels, they don't talk about it. I bet you most of these channels, these baseball channels, don't know about the manipulation that YouTube has, because they're not dealing with that manipulation. And there are channels that are great channels, should be doing much better. Hum Baby Baseball, he's an independent guy. His channel, he should have 100,000 subscribers. Easy. Based off the content that he does on his channel is so good. It is the best content on this platform when it comes to Major League Baseball, and he doesn't get it. And I think because he doesn't really collaborate with people, and he doesn't want to talk to the baseball, and he never has anybody in the baseball industry on, and he loves the Giants, and he loves talking about baseball history, and he's just terrific. But he's an example of what I talk about here. So it's extremely important, folks, that you come on here and go on to Substack and subscribe. And it's free to subscribe. Eventually, I need to get 10 subscribers on there. I got about 6. I could use 4 more so I could do live streams on there, a few on there. I would mention also I'm on Facebook. Last 2 nights I've been doing live streams on Facebook after the Met games. I think they've been pretty good. I've been very happy with them. But more important, and of course, you got to follow me on. I'll have the links in the description of this video for both sites, both for Facebook and for, of course, Substack. It's extremely important to follow me on Substack because you'll get every video in an email, every post in an email that I could put out there. I do know that some posts that I put on the community side, people don't get it. It's the weirdest thing. Some people just don't get it. They don't see it. So that's an example of YouTube manipulating everything to go based off of their own corporate message. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I thank you for your patience as you watch this. I know it's not something you want to deal with, but this is very important to me, and I need your help to really expand and really to give myself a little bit of a net in case YouTube really just pulls the rug right from under me. So thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.